Hey everyone, it's Kenya Buck in Brooklyn. So this is the last day that we will be walking through the hills until the rally is over with. Sturgis is inundated with motorcycles, so I don't want to be going downtown or near the roads to come out here. So yeah, so Buck in Brooklyn, want to know if you'll join us. So it rained all last night, and I woke up this morning and my house was so cold and I was very cold. So I shut all the windows and turned the heat on. That's how cold I was. And I put some pants on. Usually I wear shorts, and I was wearing a sweater all day. Right now I've got pants, leggings, tennis shoes, and a hoodie on. And it's not cold, but the wind is just a little bit chilly. And good Lord, this is the third time Buck has pooped. So I'll just show you this. Oh, goodness sakes, Buck. Yeah, come on, baby girl. So, yeah, it's still just, the wind is chilly, so I had my sweater on all day long. And then about 1 o'clock, I got too warm, so I opened up the windows and turned the fans on. 15 minutes later, I was freezing again. So I shut everything down and turned the fans off and turned my heater off because my husband will have a fit. But he knows I'm cold all the time, so. But there's a road that's never open except for during the rally, and I kind of forgot about it. And what's going on with you, Buck? Oh, he ate Daddy's corn cob last night, and he's having problems passing it. Are you having issues passing it? Anyways, they opened that road so the people that live on the south end of town and work at the VA can use that road to go through the BLM land to get to work a whole lot faster than going through town and through the back roads that way. So we came through that road today. That road hasn't been open for like 10 years that I knew of. So it was always open when I was growing up, because we'd always hike that road and stuff. But yeah, so the town is really packed, and I live close enough. I live right downtown, that I hear everything. And so I hear all the motorcycles. And then the main bar on my main street is called the Loud American. It's locally owned, and they have their music blaring until like 4 in the morning, and I hear it. And there's always helicopters and planes and everything. I don't know where it's at. Oh, there it is. Can you see it? Right there. I don't know if you saw it. I couldn't see it on the screen, but I usually can't see stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of planes with banners and all that kind of stuff. When it gets right down to it, I kind of wish that I would go back to Rochester, but I don't want to go back to Rochester because I was finally talking to my sister today, because I've been a little bit itchy about getting our flight tickets to go to Texas in November for my niece's wedding, because the flights are starting to fill up. And my mom keeps saying that we need to talk to Danny, but we never do. So I finally texted Danny, my sister, this morning and said, we want to follow you to Fredericksburg, and that's where Casey's getting married. And we need to know which day you're going down, and we'll come the day before, and we're going to rent a car, and then we'll follow you guys. And she's like, okay. And I said, I need to get my time in for my boss to approve it. And then, you coming back? And then I called my mom and I said, I'll come over tonight and we'll buy the tickets. And she's like, well, we gotta wait for your niece Ashley to come back home from Oklahoma. She may want to fly with us. And I'm just like, oh my God. I said, you gotta be kidding me. I said, the flights are filling up. And she said, well, let me text her real quick. So she texted her, and then she calls me back and she's like, well, if her family doesn't go, she wants to fly with us, but if they do, they'll drive, and we'll discuss it after the rally. And I'm just like, that's how my family is. They drive me nuts sometimes. I'm the one that always plans everything, like way out, because I have to plan my Rochester trips and everything. Come on, baby girl. And everybody else is like, does it like, right, like waits until the last minute, and it drives me nuts. But I love them. So I was gonna take, come here, look at this mushroom. Ouch. I just whacked my head. Look at that mushroom. That's cool. I was gonna take about $500 from this paycheck to pay my mom for my plane ticket, and then just save some money for the car. And I'm gonna stop and buy Jeremy a bunch of stuff at Buc-ee's, the humongous gas station, because he's not going and I want him to have something. So I was gonna buy my plane ticket, but since it won't be until after the rally, I have other things that I can use my money on, so I will just wait. It'd be nice if I get my settlement before I go. Then I wouldn't have to worry about my money. Oh, come in, baby boy. What's he doing, baby girl? Is him just waiting? Is him smelling stuff? Huh? Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. I will miss my dogs, though, so we'll be gone. We'll be leaving November 5th. The wedding is on the 8th. We'll try to come back on the 9th, but if we can't, we'll come back on the 10th. So that might be 4 or 5 days that my babies will have to live without me. They'll be fine, though, because they've got Jeremy. I do worry about my cats because my cats are now eating soft food, and Jeremy does not like feeding my cats, and he doesn't like changing their litter box and stuff. So I may have to just take a ton of food out and plate it up and then put it in the refrigerator, and then he can put a plate in my room each day and close my door for him. And I'll clean the cat boxes right before I leave. And I guess, we'll just have to, do you gotta go poo-poo, baby? We'll just have to deal with it. Come here, baby. Should we go back and head over to the cemetery? Come on. Let's go back to the cemetery. I don't want to go that way because it's all muddy. Come on, baby. Come on, Buck. Say, come on, brother. Say, come on, brother. I did get his collar charged. Thank goodness. He didn't come for about 10 minutes yesterday. And I was thinking I was have to go down in that gully and get him. Thank goodness he finally came. Brooklyn came though. Brooklyn always comes to see her mama. Well, always when Daddy's not around. She could care less about me when Daddy's around. Isn't that right, baby girl? Come on. You know, I never like leaving, except for going to Rochester. I love Rochester. But last year when we went to Colorado for my husband's birthday, I really didn't want to go. Those look like strawberry plants. I don't think they are, but I really didn't want to go very bad. We had a good time once we got there. But the thought of going always just makes me not want to go. I told my mom, I said, I'm definitely my dad's kid. My dad doesn't want to go anywhere. And then when we went on the honeymoon, the first 2 days I was really happy, but then I thought about Justice all the time, and I had asked my niece to stay at my house and watch Justice, and when I got back home, my mom said that she was gone all the time and Justice was alone, so my mom would go over and sit with him for just a couple hours and stuff, and I felt so bad and stuff. And he actually peed on my pillow. He was so mad at me. So I had to get a new pillow. But at that point, I made a promise to him that if I ever went anywhere ever again, I would take him with, which I always did. But the boat didn't allow dogs. Come on, baby girl. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go. I love my niece. I love her very much. I'm gonna go. I want to go and stuff. But the thought of actually traveling, it's the traveling that, I don't want to do. And my sister that lives in Sturgis, she said, well, just ride down with us. Well, no, because that's like an 18-hour drive to Texas from South Dakota, 18-hour, 24 hours, something like that. And I don't think I could be in a car that long. Buck's eating the choke cherries. Well, that's the reason why I didn't pick them all. So yeah, it's the traveling that, I don't like very much. Even going to Rochester, which is 8 hours, which I know all the landmarks and stuff. And it goes really fast for me. My husband hates the drive because it's 8 hours. But I'm always glad when I hit Rochester. Glad to get out of the car and, walk around and take a shower and do all that stuff. Buck is having supper, so we gotta just... Buck's having supper. Buck's having his fruit. I'm so glad he's liking the choke cherries. They're so good for him. Choke cherries are so good for your body and stuff. They are very dry though, and they're not dry. They have a dry consistency in your mouth. They're not dry though. It's weird. The other day when we were walking through here, he was doing the same thing, so he just eating his supper. He loves the choke cherries. You coming, baby girl? Are you eating the grass, little one? It's probably gonna rain again if you're eating the grass. Buck's eating choke cherries and you're eating grass. Here you go, Buck. Buck, right here. I've never seen a dog that likes wild fruit as much as him. Come on, baby girl. Justice, he had really bad kidney disease, and that's what took his life. But he loved bananas. Both Buck and Brooklyn can't stand bananas. And bananas are my favorite. The vet thinks that Justice ate a raisin, which I keep telling him I don't keep raisins in my house. But he thinks that Justice ate a raisin, and raisins are very toxic for dogs. So I guess if that's what he thinks, that's what he thinks, but I know better. I always think back, did he eat a raisin? But I've never had raisins in my house, at least none where Buck or Justice could have gotten them. I might have had a box that I baked with, but they were way up in the cupboard, up by the ceiling. So, come on. Come on, baby girl. So yeah, I cooked the kidney-friendly diet for Justice every day for 6 years. So when he passed away, I felt lost, and I wanted to cook for Buck, but Buck is a little bit thicker than what he should be. Come on, baby. So we have him on a weight maintenance diet, so I don't cook for him. And I thought once, Brooklyn comes to the family, I'll cook for her. Well, right away I noticed that something was wrong, because she didn't want to eat, and when she did, she would get diarrhea. And I would take her to the vet, and I'd explain it to him and stuff, and he wouldn't know what was going on and stuff. And finally, about the 4th time, I finally got to see the youngest vet there, and he's like, let's put her on this IBS diet. Let's see if she has IBS. So we did, and yep, she has IBS, and she knows what food she can't eat and what food she should eat, but it's meat and the treats that she shouldn't eat. She needs to eat hydrolyzed chicken. And she likes any kind of meat. And, you know, like I cut up my mom's old pork roast and dehydrated it. She loves that, but she probably shouldn't be eating it. But, you know, I know she gets sick and tired of her diet. So I'll just deal with the diarrhea. And then we'll go back to the hydrolyzed chicken diet again, which she doesn't really like that. Come on, that's Buck's poo-poo. We'll just step over that. That's where he was having a hard time with Daddy's corn cob. Come on. So yeah. My husband says, I don't understand why we can't just have a dog that has no issues. And I said, dogs are just like people. Everybody has some kind of issue. Well, I never had a dog that had issues when I was growing up. Well, you probably did, but you probably didn't realize it. You know? My little dachshund Heidi, she died of breast cancer. And then we had Bo, my Dalmatian. He died of hip dysplasia. And then Angel got sepsis, died of that. Justice died of kidney disease. Buck's overweight and Brooklyn has IBS. So Justice also had a lot of lipomas that I would have taken off and stuff. And when we got Buck, Jeremy was like, finally a dog that doesn't have any bumps. And right away, I found a bump on his tail, and I'm like, I wouldn't say that. And every once in a while, he gets a little bump on his rib cage, and then it goes away and stuff. So they're just like humans, they're just like any other species on the planet. You know, they have their own issues. So what you doing, baby girl? So when I publish this video, I will put the pictures of my two little neighbor dogs. Come on, baby girl. One is a little Yorkie, blonde Yorkie, and the other is the most beautiful three-legged German Shepherd. And he's only about 1.5 years old. And when he was just a puppy, his owner abused him so bad and broke his leg so bad that he had to have his leg removed. And then the authorities took him away and prosecuted the guy and everything. And my neighbor, she takes in dogs to get them better and then get them adopted and stuff. But this dog she just fell in love with, so she adopted him. And that dog loves me so much. And every day he's waiting out there for me to come. And it's so weird because they didn't give the dog's name. They call the Yorkie little dog and the German Shepherd big dog. I'm like, really? That's not much of a name, but I guess it's their names. So not like Buckshot in Brooklyn. Okay, we'll go over there and then we'll come back and go see Grandma. Oops, come on. Come on. I didn't even hear that person. So the video that I shot and accidentally trashed, at the end we were over here and somebody came walking with their dog, not leashed, which is fine because my dogs aren't leashed, but they have their collars on and stuff. Well, that dog didn't have a collar on, and he was kind of a husky type dog, and we heard him like way back, and he was yelling and everything, and he came running down, and Buck is such a friendly dog that they started playing. But the owners, there was 2 owners, they didn't even know where he was, and we were far away from them. And finally they started looking and stuff. I said, come on. So we walked back up to where they were. I said he was down playing with my dogs stuff, but yeah. So it's probably because you're on the BLM land and there's not many people out here. But you gotta have control of your dogs. Although I didn't have control of Buck yesterday with his collar dead. So, but he usually listens to me after a while. All right, he's pooping again. So that corn cob must have really stoved him up. I guess we won't be eating that anymore. And he loves corn cobs. He loves corn. So after I shut the camera off yesterday, Buck was so sketchy about walking in these tall grasses. So I told him, I said, I will stomp on the ground. So if there's any snakes around, they'll feel us coming. And so I was stomping from, way down by the pond, all the way back up to the car, which I thought was funny. You coming, baby? What's he doing? What's him doing? There we go. All right. Where's he going? Where's that dingaloo doing? Come on. He's probably gonna go eat more choke cherries. You can go eat more choke cherries? Come on. There's so many mushrooms. I cannot believe how many mushrooms there are. Come on. Like I said before, I've never, ever, ever seen this many mushrooms out here, but it's because of all the rain. But yeah, you just look everywhere, and the cemetery has a ton of mushrooms up there. So we're not gonna walk all the way to the cemetery because I'm gonna have to take my hoodie off. But there's a bird making noises. I don't think snakes would be out today because it's kind of muddy. I mean, they might be, but I don't think so. So when we ran into that rattlesnake, you know, I'm not a person who, I mean, when there's an ant in my house, I take them outside. Flies drive me nuts, so I do swat them, but anything else, you know, I try to take outside. And my husband and my friend Deb and my mom and my dad, they were all like, did you kill it? I said, of course not. He was just sunning himself. Why would I kill it? Well, you gotta kill them. No. You know. What are you doing? Buck. Come here, Brooklyn. So, yeah, if I don't have to kill anything, it's better for my soul. It breaks my heart when I see animals killed for no reason. I suppose even scorpions I wouldn't want to kill. I would probably just run away screaming from them. Back! Brooklyn! I think I see Bug's tail. Come on. Baby, baby, Brooklyn. Over here. Over here. Could you not find me? So we're probably gonna turn back here. I know they want to go that way, but I will probably stop them and let them run around over here and stuff while I take my hoodie off. And yeah, come on. All right, I think I'm gonna leave you here, and tomorrow I'll probably take the dogs to the dog park because of the rally, so I don't know if I'm gonna video that. And I will post pictures of the little German Shepherd and the Yorkie on here. So please subscribe, like, and comment, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.